You know what's fantastic about the new feminist frequency video? I mean, really, really fantastic. Is it dispels in an instant the entire Anita Sarkeesian victimhood narrative. You know, the one where she's only being targeted for being a woman.
It's actually men going after women in really hostile, aggressive ways. That's what Gamergate is about. It's about terrorizing women for being involved in this industry.
You know, we have this larger culture in gaming where a subset of mostly male gamers have been viciously going after women and attacking them.
Again, what I've described to you today is not unique to me in my experience. Every day, many women voicing their opinions online deal with a similar flood of slander and defamation designed to undermine their careers, their credibility, their resolve, and their confidence.
Remember, the reason she turns off comments is because of the harassment she receives as a woman.
As unsettling as all of this is, the thing that disturbs me the most is the kind of personal backlash that Anita and her channel have faced. She's had to turn off her comments and hide her like-dislike ratio. This is not okay. Please watch this video and share.
But of course, if a man were to make exactly the same video, he would get no harassment, right? Because only women get harassment because they're women. And it's nothing to do with the outrageous dishonesty or the utterly stupid things that they say.
We must remember that games don't just entertain. Intentional or not, they always express a set of values and present us with concepts of normalcy.
Yeah, of course, if a man said something completely stupid, everyone would instantly take it seriously because he's got a penis.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Christian, but you don't need to be in the pew every Sunday to know that there's something wrong in this country when gays can serve openly in the military, but our kids can't openly celebrate Christmas or pray in school.
Which is exactly what Full Macintosh says at the end.
Because it was created by a straight white man, this checklist will likely be taken more seriously than if it had been written by virtually any female gamer.
No, if a moronic man says something stupid, it's taken no more seriously than if a moronic woman says something completely stupid. Deal with it. Cute thing is, though, apparently Jonathan here so strongly believed that he would get no harassment for being a man and saying stupid shit that he also took the precaution of disabling comments and ratings. After all, someone's got to keep the world safe from the horror of free expression. Oh, and by the way, fellas, if you're going to herd people up to read stuff off an auto cue, at least move them far enough away from the auto cue that you can't see that they're reading it off an auto cue. Because that kind of dispels the whole idea that these are honest people who really believe what they're saying. And the fact that they all look like they've been selected and dressed by a PR company to represent a white demographic of Joe Everyman, I'm sure is pure coincidence. That said, I did recognize this guy who writes songs about feminism. Now, firstly, I gotta give the guy credit. He does leave his ratings and his comments open, which does show a degree of maturity and honesty. And just like Full Macintosh said, the message becomes instantly credible when it's delivered by a guy. Right? Oh. Nope. Apparently, a dumb message typically gets a bad rating, no matter what your chromosomes are. You know, it's almost like the flack that Anita Sarkeesian gets is nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, and it is in reality due to the fact that her premise that video games cause sexism is about as bogus as Jack Thompson's premise that video games cause violence.
Game industry lobbyists are quick to point out a total of 9 federal courts have rejected so-called studies that video games cause aggression.
Which it turns out Full Macintosh also believes. Scientific consensus is that playing violent video games increases aggression and aggressive behavior. Amazing, so many people are in denial. Yeah, right, sure, people will just instantly take you seriously if only you've got a penis.
Because it was created by a straight white man, this checklist will likely be taken more seriously than if it had been written by virtually any female gamer.
You muppets. But hey, I guess it's a hard life spending $160,000 on a project that raised 25 times more money than it needed.
I actually raised 25 times what I initially asked for.
Which is already years past its due date, and you haven't even made half of the videos that you said you would.
This is not okay. Please watch this video and share.